Even though we're getting reinforcements, we should still be prepared for the worst. Never shirk your training, no matter what. To practice, I'm going to chop something up with my sword, unless you'd like to train together. Care to spar?
I was thinking... It seems Arianrode, one of the kingdom's sturdiest fortress cities, has fallen to the Empire. It looks like Count Ro didn't resist, and switched sides to the Empire straight away. I guess it did avoid unnecessary bloodshed. So maybe it was a wise decision after all.
Can't be. Some in Fargus believe Dmitri is still alive. My father is one such eccentric. They can't accept reality. Dmitri is dead. He's not coming back.
Someday we will take the Imperial capital. It is odd to think that I will be invading the very city that I once called home. That is still a ways off. I will prepare for our journey to Alot.
The Valley of Torment? What kind of a name for a place is that? It sounds scary. Do I really have to go with you? Hey, here's an idea. Maybe let the recluse stay home and hold the fort. No. You're not a teacher anymore, and we're not your students, but everyone still calls you Professor. Is there something you'd rather be called? Guess that's what we're used to, huh? All right. Hi there!
I never do get used to the sight of blood. It always makes me feel as if I might faint. I suppose I've told you that, though, yes? I have no idea how you cope with it. I hope this war ends soon. I dislike being lightheaded because other people are bleeding everywhere, though the thought of working hard for it does sound like quite a pain.
Gotta clean out the storerooms, tend the flowers, do the washing, dust the library. Well, it's my job, you know. Gotta do your job. Even if Lady Ray is not here right now, I still gotta do my duty. Like you. You gotta have other stuff you ought to be doing, yeah?
Since the past, I have learned much of the language of Fodlan, but speaking the Fodlan language still gives me difficulty. I can understand, read, and write with nearly perfection now, but understanding and speaking are fruits of a different color. I have gratitude for you, Professor. I hope that I will have fluency one day.
No.
Professor? Greetings, Professor! Nothing to report. Is everyone setting out on a big campaign? Not exactly. Ah, so you're meeting up with the reinforcements. Well, you can leave guarding this place to me. I'll keep an eye out for anything suspicious.
Professor! Hey, Professor! Thanks for your hard work again. Nothing to report today. Was I convincing? Was it like he was standing right in front of you? Some things are the same as they were 5 years ago, but I guess a lot more has changed.
Really? There's unrest everywhere these days. All of my fellow merchants seem to be endangered. I hope things go back to normal soon. People need more to smile about, aside from my great deals. Hey, how about a favor?
Professor?
Professor, there are enemy spies around. Remain vigilant. Capture anyone who seems suspicious. What else would we do with them?
Professor? Can you help me?
Aelel, the Valley of Torment. Oh man, I really do not want to go there. That place is crazy hot. For guys like me, who grew up somewhere cold, man, it's gonna be rough. Though, I guess that climate will keep our enemies at bay.
Hey, hello.
Hey!
To the north of Garreg Mach lie the territories of the Karen and Galatea houses, former lords of the kingdom. Even though their territory is being nibbled at by the Empire, they are still clinging to their neutrality. Since they only display enough force to defend their borders, I suppose the Empire has no incentive to attack them with any real strength.
I see. You know, I'd never have been recognized as the legitimate heir to House Regan without Judith's recommendation. Feels like I'm digging myself deeper and deeper in debt to the hero of Daphnel, but what do? It's all been worth it. After all, we need the Daphnel army for our next move. It's possible we'll have to deal with our enemies sooner than later. Be prepared, Teach.
Hey!
Hey,
A moment, please.
My big brother told me stories of Judith's bravery. With just one look, she tamed a runaway horse that nobody else had been able to touch. When an Almiran general provoked her, she talked him into a tearful apology. She's spectacular. I wish she'd fight alongside us. Maybe. Listen. Aelel, the Valley of Torment, lies on the border of 3 noble territories. The kingdom's Fraldarius and Galatea families, and the Alliance's Daphnel family. In the Fraldarius lands to the north, the former Kingdom Army and New Duke's Army are fighting.
Professor!
The bridge that links Alliance and Empire lands is currently under the occupation of the Imperial Army. In other words, the Empire can choose to invade the Alliance whenever they wish. I want you to understand that my father does not support the Empire to antagonize House Regan. He does it to deprive them of an easy excuse to cross that bridge.
I've heard people talk about the hero of Daphnel. If the stories of her courage are true, no one will be able to stand against us. In different circumstances, I'd have wanted to try crossing swords with her. Right now, we have to focus on getting to those reinforcements. Let's hope nothing goes wrong.
What?
Story. My family, the Galateas, are an offshoot of the Daphnel family. The family split in half, and 2 brothers quarreled over an inheritance. Despite blood relations, the families lived apart from one another, so the relationship has been distant and somewhat estranged, and not so much acquainted with Judith, the head of House Daphnel.
Professor, how do Claude and Judith know each other? I hear there are still quarrels within the Alliance. This generous offer of soldiers and supplies seems a little too good to be true. I mean, it's also really impressive, but I'm just a little worried, I suppose.
Professor, no.
It seems some of our friends believe that if we get those reinforcements, we'll be set for provisions, too. But I think it's best not to hold our breath on the food front. With the added headcount from the reinforcements, there will be even more mouths to feed.
Thanks. Sharing her food with us for nothing in return? Judith really is a great person. She's more like a goddess than the goddess is. No? Well, she could be a demon for all I care, so long as she feeds me.
My cooking is so... Right. I do... Oh.
Hi there!
It has been only 5 years, yet so much has changed. Half of the kingdom has fallen to the Empire. Skirmishes are rife throughout the Alliance. Despite such tumult, we look upon the same sky, unchanged by the storm happening beneath it. Yes, it would be nice, I suppose. Things were simpler then. Or so they seemed to be at the time.
Meeting reinforcements in the Valley of Torment seems an astute decision to me. In that land of oppressive heat, it is unlikely that we will be disturbed. It also means we will need to contend with those harsh conditions ourselves, however. Best ensure we are well prepared.
Professor! I have lived inconspicuously these past 5 years, so as not to be discovered by the Empire. To be able to finally return to the monastery again is overwhelming. I hope that our brothers and sisters who ran far away will also return one day.
Appreciate it.
You can't be serious.
Make a difference? How about a curtsy? For Gerald! All right, who's next? All right, who's next? Valley of Torment. Valley of Torment. No. I'm trying to remember the legends surrounding Alot.
I can't believe the Valley of Torment. I'd heard of it, but I never expected to go there. It's exciting. I wonder what the landscape is like. That is an interesting point. The name does seem to suggest that.
We may not be students anymore, but it's still important to read. We might even learn something that's useful for our next battle. I couldn't agree more. I hope the Officers' Academy reopens when the war's over. It's a shame the monastery was ruined, but at least the books are still intact.
I can't believe it.
Hello. With the Fargus dukedom in place, the kingdom is essentially no more. The majority of the lords who once belonged to the kingdom are now under the jurisdiction of the Empire. Even the houses that haven't bent a knee yet, like House Fraldarius, will soon be crushed. It's only...
I didn't think we'd end up fighting Randolph. He's my uncle. Well, not by blood, so I guess I can handle it. Don't worry about me. I'm ready for anything.
Oh.
Indeed. The monastery repairs have made solid progress. Most excellent news. When we first returned here, I was unsure what we were going to do with the ruins of this place. But if we can get the cathedral rebuilt, we'll have it looking just like old times soon enough.
Professor?
Hearing that an old student has died cuts me right to the heart. As this war with the Empire continues, we'll see more of it, Professor. We have a duty to fight alongside our former students. We taught them how to fight, after all. Now, let's help them win.
Oh no.
Nice job.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. Remember that battle 5 years ago? Oh, I'm guessing you do. Anyway, remember that knight who watched over Abyss with me for a while? He said he was going to check on things up top, but that he'd return. Thing is, I haven't seen him since. Lots of knights have returned, but not him. I hope he's safe.
Pardon? So you intend to march into Alot? Frankly, I want no part of it. Surely such an uneventful journey won't require my presence. And miss my share of the glory? Unacceptable. Though I would ask that we at least consider marching only under cover of night.
So, Judith is on our side now. That right? Haven't seen that lady in years. These days, people call her a hero. Back then, I just called her a catch and a half. Quite a while. I was a kid back then, but she caught my eye when she came to one of the Alliance dances. She was the second loveliest lady in all of Fodlan. Who's the first, you ask? That's my little secret.
No, bandits from Garrick Mock used to come down to Abyss pretty frequently. We never dealt with them, though. We refused their offers at every turn. Sometimes we had to use force. I was happy you finally drove them out for good. Only then there were beasts all over the place. Ugh. When the monastery fell to ruin, we lost all hope for support from the church. Most able-bodied folks abandoned Abyss for the surface around that time. Since then, we've been barely scraping by.
The Valley of Torment, huh? I see your angle, but don't let your guard down. Any movement about their borders, and the Lords of the Kingdom will react swiftly. Don't underestimate them. Keep your focus on a positive outcome. There's a lot to gain and a lot to lose.
The Valley of Torment. Isn't that the place where it's scorching hot year-round? You know, I've always wanted to see the world. That's why I left my village, and here I am, traveling to all these interesting new places to kill people. Not what I had in mind. Maybe I'll find some time to admire the scenery. Though people might get mad I'm not taking this silly war seriously. Whoops, that was close. Almost sighed.
Eating
You know,
That smell.
My favorite.
This.
My breath.
This is no...
I've never...
this.
Yummy!
You're eating.
Professor,